Hi, we're today here in front of an 18-foot vertical tillage unit that we have totally refurbished and built ourselves by using an old disc frame. To start with, we disassemble the whole frame and go over all the bolts, and any of the parts that are worn out we replace as needed. The unit then is totally taken apart, reassembled, painted. All the bolts that are replaced down on the arbors, all the arbors are looked at and replaced if need to be. We do use a triple lip seal bearing that is one of the best in the industry. We have found that it has held up extremely well. The blades are an 18% boron content. They're very good earth metal as such. They're not an earth metal blade, but they do last very long, very similar to the earth metal blades out on the market today. We have a unit that we have 3,000 acres on. The blades are worn very little, approximately 1/4 inch. We like to start with a 22-inch blade. Reason being is we have less rolling resistance and we're going to get longer life and longer wear out of that blade. One of the other things that we also do is we stagger our front gang to our rear gang so that we are getting a 4.5 to 5-inch stock cut. That's one of the big things that's important. When we run our tool in the fall over the corn stalks, we're able to cut them up and incorporate them with a little bit of soil. The reason we run over the corn stalks in the fall is to start to cut them up, chop them up, make them smaller. For them to start to rot, we need to make sure that we have carbon and oxygen available for the soil microbes to help break down and work in this process. Also, by leaving it a little open in the fall, we're absorbing all extra moisture that we possibly can. One of the other things that we also do is we do add a Remlinger rolling basket to the rear of the unit. We can set that basket either in a passive mode or an aggressive mode. We like the aggressive mode. We get a little more chopping action out of it, and again, it also makes a real nice firm seed bed. The Remlinger rolling basket is from Remlinger. We are a dealer for Remlinger Manufacturing. We really like their basket. One of the big things that we like about it is they do run their bars are a little more on a helical. They're not on a perfectly straight plane. So when they're running, we get a little more chopping and mixing action, which also results in less rock pickup. So it doesn't turn into a rock picker. The other thing Remlinger does is they use a real heavy-duty bearing compared to all the other competitors out there on the market, and we've had real good luck with them. One of the things that we like about the bearings we're using and Remlinger uses, 1 shot of grease per season should be more than enough to suffice to be able to cover 600 or 700 acres in that time frame. Again, the other thing to do after you run your tool over in the fall, you're going to go ahead and you're going to have it ready for spring. In the springtime, we recommend going back over those corn stalks or soybean stubble, and by us doing that in the corn stalks, we're cutting them up again, we're breaking them down a little further. This way we have no root balls left in the top of the soil. We are now taking all that trash and turning that trash back into potash. It's very valuable to us as a farmer. We don't want to have to go out and spend extra money on potash, so by us breaking this down, it will help increase yields without extra cash coming out of your pocket. One other thing that's really important, we have saved quite a bit of fuel with ours. By using the tool, we have approximately saved 1/3 of the fuel bill that we normally would use without running vertical tillage. This is a secondary tool. We recommend running it 1.5 to 2 inches deep is optimum. Sometimes it may be necessary to run to 2.5, but no deeper than that. Another important factor is our units require 5 to 6 horsepower per foot to pull. With the taller blades, larger blades, we have less rolling resistance, a little easier to run. We have our gangs are set on an 18-degree angle on the front. We're running a 16-degree angle on the rear. I know there's a lot of competitors out there that are running no degree angle. Anywhere from 0 degrees, they're running them as high as up to 22 degrees. We feel this has been a sweet spot. It's worked extremely well, and we recommend running our tool between 4.5 and 6.5 miles an hour. We started to experiment and look at things. It took us about 3 years to finally perfect this, to make it work for everybody included. The small farmer up to the large farmer. We can build units anywhere from 8 foot up to a 16 foot in a non-rock flex. We will also we recommend building Anything over 18 foot needs to be in a rock flex, 18 foot up to 32 foot. One thing that we really are primarily looking to do is to try to help the small farmer to make vertical tillage affordable to them and everybody else. With corn prices going back to the $4 mark, $4.50 mark, profits are going to be a little tighter. Big thing is we want to make sure that every farmer that needs a vertical tillage tool can cash flow it through his or her operation. That's one of the big factors that I think a lot of the big manufacturers are missing. You know, corn prices have been very high, they've been good, but they're not, I don't think they're going to stay there forever. This 8-foot unit was retrofitted. A lot of guys are using them for pasture renovation. We've got quite a few of them out there for that reason. It's working extremely well. They're also using them for vertical tillage, guys that are still farming, you know, 10, 15 acres of corn, 20 acres of beans, things like that, or oats and wheat. It works out very well. Again, with our low horsepower requirement to pull them, we can still run them with a small tractor, which most of the small farmers do have, and that's one of the things we want to make sure. A lot of the big manufacturers are not manufacturing very small units. I believe the biggest one, the smallest one out there is in a 12-foot range, and you know, we build anywhere from 8 foot again up to 32 foot. S&M Farms, we've been farming 34 years. One of the things was we really wanted a vertical tillage tool. We tried a lot of them, demoed a lot, kind of found a couple that we kind of thought we liked. There were some things that we didn't like about them. Affordability was the biggest problem or obstacle to overcome. So we figured, well, we'll give it a shot and we try to build them. It took us 3 years to be able to perfect this and get it to work. It takes us approximately 2 to 3 weeks to build an individual unit. There's a little more to it than just throwing it together. Everybody feels that you can just throw them together and get them to work, and that's not very true. There's a lot of thought process that goes into each one of them, and there was a lot of thought process that went into it in the 3 years of building. We got into a little bit of the innovation of it. Was designed, we're a small family farm. We want to continue to farm. We're going to continue to stay there as a small family farm. We're very small. We have low overhead, so we're able to sell you the vertical tillage tools at an affordable price. We have 2 employees at this point in the game. We're trying to keep it as small as we possibly can and make that personable touch between you, the customer, and of course us, the builder. Spring and fall are very busy times. We take deposits as a first come, first serve, and we will go ahead and build in order. Of course, if we have 12 or 13 units to build in the fall or spring, somebody's not going to get theirs done. Unfortunately, if we're not spread out over the time frame for us to get them done. If we don't start getting orders in January and everyone waits till April, they're not going to all have them for May. There's just no way it can be done. We offer 2 different blade options. We offer a vortex blade or a wavy coulter blade, which has been used very similar for no-till corn planters and stuff. It works extremely well, and we're getting a nice good mixing action. The thing is that we like about using a straight blade, we get better penetration, and we're not having any of that concavity left in the blade to give us any soil compaction. And of course, one of our biggest things is we want to eliminate soil compaction. By running vertical tillage, it'll give you a nice firm seed bed. The big obstacle that we have today, of course, is corn stalks. These BT corn stalks are very tough. They're very hard to break down. By us being able to break them down and getting an optimum seed bed, we're going to have better stands, and the result, yields will be better. It does leave us with a good 2-inch seed bed that we have a lot of fines to work with to get good soil to seed contact. That is very important in any type planting situation. The other thing is, it's really nice and neat about it, the machine, is if we have some small weeds and you don't get a chance to spray with a pre-burn down in the spring, but now you want to go out there and run, the vertical tillage tool will upset and kill off a lot of weeds, and you can go ahead and plant right into it. For wheat, it's going to work really well. It does not eliminate the place of collar packing or collar mulching, but it will leave you a nice seed bed. Again, it'll be nice and smooth and firm, but yet not packed. Coming up for 2014, we are working on a new project. Hopefully we will be able to have more details about this, come early fall, or I should say come early spring or early next year. We're looking at possibly taking some of these soil finishers that are out there and turning them into vertical tillage tools. This is something that we're starting to work on, and hopefully it will be available for 2014. If you have an old disc at your farm now and cost is a factor, give us a call, let us take a look at it. We can convert your disc and really be able to help save you some money, but yet get you into a vertical tillage system that's going to help break down your corn stalks and save you money in the long run on potash. More information will be available on the website. Keep posted. We'll try to keep you posted and let you know how things are progressing on that.